How West Auckland residents are faring after terrifying shooting. New poll reveals how many of us want dental care to be free for adults. And dire warning as 200 US banks at risk of Silicon Valley-style collapse. Atamaria, I'm Sherry Kinnear, and these are the latest New Zealand Herald headlines. Henderson Valley residents have been left feeling anxious following a gunman's rampage. Police shot an armed man at the Henderson police station on Friday after he shot at police officers and attempted to rob a cash and transit Armaguard van at the Henderson Gull petrol station. Waitemata councillor Shane Henderson says residents want to be reassured they're safe after the terrible shooting. He added people were concerned about trends around safety and crime around the country. Meanwhile, more than 20 prohibited firearms have been seized in the Bay of Plenty and 117 nationwide over the past 3 years. The figures come after the 4-year anniversary this month of the Christchurch mosque attacks, New Zealand's worst mass shooting. The government introduced sweeping legislation to crack down on firearms with the ability to cause harm in a rapid and highly destructive way from a distance as part of its response. Demands for dental care to be included in New Zealand's public health system. A new poll shows 7 in 10 Kiwis agree it should be free as it is for children. 72% of respondents say they've delayed a dentist visit due to cost, and only 43% had visited the dentist in the last year. Auckland Action Against Poverty coordinator Brooke Stanley-Powell says in the communities they work with, that stat would be higher.
And we know that our oral health is actually connected to the rest of our wellbeing, so then it can have flow-on effects and impacts in the rest of our body.
It comes as World Oral Health Day is marked globally today. The New Zealand Dental Association is highlighting the need to address tooth decay in children. They say one way is for the government to mandate a water-only policy on school premises. To summer weather now, cooler temperatures are on the horizon. A front heading up the South Island tomorrow is set to bring heavy rain followed by strong northwesterlies and a strong cold and wet southerly. Auckland will see a drop in temperatures as the week progresses, dropping 4 degrees overnight on Wednesday from the usual 16 to 14. Heavy rain watches are meanwhile in place for parts of the South Island. And in world news, nearly 200 US banks are vulnerable to the same risk that took down Silicon Valley Bank last week. There are 186 banks across the US that could fail if half of their depositors were to withdraw their funds quickly, according to a new study published on the Social Science Research Network. While the US government insures bank deposits of up to $250,000, these at-risk banks have high numbers of uninsured depositors who the study claims are more likely to pull their funds for fear of losing them. And those are the latest New Zealand Herald headlines. For more stories and to stay up to date, head to nzherald.co.nz. Kia pai te rā. Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. To stay up to date with all the latest news from the New Zealand Herald, click the subscribe button below or check out one of the videos here, and head over to nzherald.co.nz for more details on these stories and more.